All right. I'm sitting here through a chance encounter, a twist of fate. Twist of fate here with one thing led to another. Centroid has descended down into this plane of existence. I'm not really sure what's going on, but I think he's going to tell us a little bit about. Well, first of all, what is a centroid?
So centroid is the center point of a triangle. Triangle is the most powerful shape that exists in the universe. The universe is shaped like a triangle, and your consciousness is also shaped like a triangle. That's right. Anyway, the centroid resides in the center. It's a good distance away from all 3 points. No pressure pull from any direction. It's truly an effortless state. Centroid is not just a place, but a state of being. Something that exists that you can localize within your own consciousness, within your own mind, and then reside within the center of your own universe.
Wow. Okay. So you are all this everything is kind of the vibe I'm picking up? You are everything and nothing all at once? You are the void and the matter?
You are all 3 points, or each point would be a different aspect of your consciousness, and you create a composite soul. So you have your mind, it's all the logical, theoretical, calculative processes, and you have your part emotional, holistic, creative aspects. Then you have the physical body, it's the hormones they produce with your physical body, and all 3 of those, whenever they synergize, that's what creates what you would refer to as, I guess, the soul. The soul doesn't necessarily exist without those 3 components interacting. You take one out, and it negates the soul. So if you want to live in a way where you are truly speaking and acting from the soul, you have to give all 3 of those aspects equal attention, as if you're always existing in some sort of triangle. Sometimes you're overly emotional, so you're pulled towards one side, because one side would be, the creative, holistic, emotional aspects of life, and that's where you're kind of pulled more towards. The other would be maybe you've got an idea of something you want to do, and you've got it all figured out practically and logically, and the step-by-step way you're going to get from point A to point B, but you're not applying any action with the body, and there's no passion there, so then you're out of balance as far as that goes, because you're too far to the mind, overtaken by the mind. And then you can have all the passion in the world for whatever it is you're trying to do, and you can even figure out step by step exactly what you're going to do to get there. But if you're not applying any action with the body, then you're still not in balance. So the whole idea would be taking all 3 of those aspects and align and giving them equal attention, and that's how you would place yourself or localize yourself within the center of your being. And then once you do that, then it kind of unfolds into a Metatron's cube, and that's what allows you to turn your lamp into a laser beam and experience a 4th dimension, where it unfolds into something 4th dimensional or 5th dimensional. If you can really drive it into the fucking ground, you just gotta get in there and then fucking push it through. It's like a portal. Like a portal to the other side of the universe.
Well, thank you so much for coming down here to this plane and helping us understand and unpack some of this Gnostic principles that I think many of us are just walking around without understanding. It's my understanding that you came here with the intention to declassify some CIA documents.
That's right. So So I reside within the Tortuga of Orion. I reside within the fire of the Tortuga de Orion, which is a triangle that exists on the end of the Orion's belt as my home. Came from there to deliver this information. So a lot of people don't recognize that, we have these ideas about how to achieve an enlightened state or like a state of higher consciousness, and we think that it takes years and years of meditation practice or some sort of specific devotion to some sort of philosophy, but really all it takes is frequency, specifically sound frequencies. So the earth resonates at around 7.5 hertz, and the mind can basically harmonize with that resonant frequency, and that's optimal for something like telepathy, as well as levitation and
I don't know if y'all caught that, but I think this dude just told you how to float. Here's the thing. This is something that happens all the time, is that divine truth or very valid information just gets lost in a cacophony of sound. And this is a really good example of that. Here we are sitting in the middle of this bar having an interdimensional experience together and learning from one another. And most everyone else has no idea what's happening.
Or projecting it, that's right. So they could hear if they wanted to. The idea is that not the idea, but I guess the question you have to ask is, sure, maybe the information's there, but do people really want it? And I don't think that most people really want to know the truth, because I think that the truth isn't going to make you happy or make you feel good. It's just going to set your consciousness free. And that could be quite a traumatic experience for most people that are really comfortable in the 3D. Whenever your consciousness is being forcefully pulled from your body, when you're having a dissociative experience or entering a trance-like state, sometimes that could be pretty excruciatingly painful if you're not willing to move through it and let go of the fear, because you do have a full-on identity erosion. You will forget what your name is, what your parents told you your name was, what city people told you lived in, what color people told you your car was. You'll forget all of that, because none of that's fucking real anyway. All that shit's bullshit. And whenever all that's wiped away, you experience a full death simulation. And you're able to go beyond time and experience time as it exists all at one time. And that's within the Centroid state. And again, it's a truly effortless state. Even when you look at a pyramid itself, it's the only place where there isn't a push or pull from any direction. Total center of gravity. It's like what you seek without knowing. And all you're doing is finding ice packs to sedate yourself and to satisfy your mind. And you already have the answers to all the questions. I mean, you've sat in your car and heard the sound. You've heard that pure tone. And if you wanted, you could start playing with that pure tone, bringing it up and down, and really, really concentrating in the triangle that exists on the center of your forehead, and bringing yourself into it, rolling your eyes back in your head and activating your pituitary gland, and experiencing what's known as hemisync. You sync your left and right hemisphere of your brain, and you reside within the frontal, your consciousness resides in the frontal cortex and the pituitary gland of your brain, and you're basically just processing every question and answer all at once, because all of the questions that you have only exist because you have all of the answers. And if you let go of all the questions, all the answers would go with them too, but you're not willing to do that because you're not fully satisfied with the answers that you've been given. Yeah.
Boom goes the dynamite. But no one heard it. Isn't it amazing? It's what we're experiencing now and what we're talking about now is the same thing, is that all of the questions you seek the answers to are right in front of you, and we just walk by them almost all of the time, 99.9999999. It takes a special state of consciousness to tune in to those to the truth that's been there the whole time.
That's right. That's right. And yeah, it's all hidden in plain sight. Everyone's seen a triangle before, but really look at it. Really, really look closely at it.
Look at the triangle. It's
Yeah.
important.
And don't if you look at a triangle and you tell yourself you're looking at a triangle, you're not going to see it because you're trying to define it before you actually perceive it. You have to see it as just a form. And I really think more people that are trying to enlighten themselves, which technically enlightenment, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't exist. It's just it's like the ultimate trick of the mind. And the mind isn't where you reside. You reside in some sort of synergistic composite of the mind, heart, and body, which you call the soul. So if you're trying to use your mind to achieve some sort of state of enlightenment, it's just because your mind figured out that you like whatever it is that you came across, and you experience a nice pleasure movement, and you want to try to make that pleasure movement last forever. So it's like trying to smoke a blunt that's going to last forever. You know, there's no such thing as an endless blunt, and there's no such thing as a piece of music that creates tension. You know, has a tonic, creates tension, and then resolves forever. No, it's just a matter of like creating conflict, building the tension, and then resolving it, and then doing it all over again and all over again. And that's how it's always going to happen. You can't experience pleasure without pain. You can't have a light without a shadow. Brighter the light, darker the shadow. So it's just full. And whenever you really stretch the spectrum of full polarity, then it starts to bend on itself and form into the shape of a triangle. So.
Wow. So, going back to the endless blunt, it brings to mind what a story I refer to as the Hanukkah resin miracle. And when I was a young buck, I was about 16, 17, and it was Hanukkah, but we had no ganja. I don't know if they have that there, but it's an herb that helps you access.
Yeah, Gonaloo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we didn't have any, and we thought we had about enough for one resin hit, but actually that resin burned for 8 nights.
That's a miracle.
It was a miracle. It was beautiful. And you have to get into that Gnostic space to really allow those sorts of realities to manifest.
That's right. I would agree with that. And miracles are interesting because I think it's more a matter of this being. I think the miracles are always happening, and if you feel like you're not experiencing them, then you just have to like recognize the fact that we're even having this conversation is like a 1 in 20 trillion chance that this would even fucking happen. So this is a massive miracle in itself. And so miracles stacked on top of miracles stacked on top of miracles are what creates like the composite experience that you're having as of right now. And at least for me, I know that I'm like pretty ridiculously blessed. This is like I won the lottery times a billion just to be living on Earth at this time. Like to have made it here at this time.
It's unreal. That's what I feel that very much. Like, think about like the astronomical odds of all the sperms, you know, that could have won that race, and that lineage that goes back from father to father to father to father to father. Literally, we come from a long line of miracles. Really, if you think about it, like the only way that we have evolved to this point, or to come to this crux, or this like shift in, you know, what it is to be human and be alive, that we're reaching this transhumanist point right now. You know, it just it's amazing to me that against all the odds, you've come from a long, long, long line of winners. Literally, like every descendant has won the lottery back to back to back to back to back. Like the odds of you being here or me being here are so improbable that it really, it almost like melts my brain. Like,
yeah, I like to think too that you knew that this was gonna happen. Like in some sort of way, you had mapped it all out. You told yourself you were gonna come here, and you told yourself it was for a purpose. And then people would say, well, you know, what's the meaning of life? And the idea would be the meaning that you gave it, the meaning that you already know. Again, you have all the answers to all the questions, so you have to decide. You're here to decide, you know, because you can act like you never gave yourself a purpose, and you never gave this life a reason. And you can become jaded and cynical and then fall into, you know, patterns of depression, and ultimately you just become suicidal and kill yourself, because if you don't give life meaning, then it's not going to have any point at all. But you just have to re-uncover the meaning that you already know is there, the one that you told yourself was there. And for me, it's a matter of basically like getting back to the triangle. You look into your heart, and your heart is always like, your heart's always saying, you know, this is what it is. This is what I love. This is what I'm passionate about. And if you're brutally honest with yourself, you can actually listen to it. And then, you know, but that's not like the end. You know, that's just the beginning. Then you have to say, okay, if this is what I truly love, if this is what I truly want, and if money was no object, which we'll get to money in just a second, because money is actually money isn't what you think it is. But anyway, then you have to go into the mind. You have to say, okay, my heart wants this thing. It wants to do this with this life. So now I have to go into the logical, strategic kind of linear process and say, how am I going to get from point A to point B? You know, what's the step-by-step process of getting there? So you take the heart and then you take the mind and you harmonize them and you give them both energy. Then finally, once you figure out what you're going to do and then how you're going to do it, then you have to apply action with the body, and then you move the body into that reality. You literally like point all three. You point your two eyes, and then you take your third, and you finally open it up and you step forward, and you can even reach out with the third, like a laser beam, and kind of
turning lamps into laser beams.
Turn the lamps into laser beams, that's right. You reach out into the future and you grab that reality that you want, you pull it towards you, and you move towards it.
Do it!
Yeah, and the only way you can do it is with action. Movement itself is what animates life. But yeah, some of that shit requires money. And the interesting thing about money too is, like, a long time ago when I was here, everyone was speaking Latin, and two words make up money, two Latin derivatives, mono and I, so it's a one eye, the all-seeing eye. All-seeing eye is something really important to a lot of Freemasons. They were around during those times. They've been around since ancient Egypt, and they recognize that the architect is shaped like a triangle, and they represent him as a triangle, and that is the all-seeing eye, the eye of the architect. And his eye resides in the center of his triangle, because he forever resides within the centroid. That's why you find a relationship with him whenever you actually care about your soul and you care about life itself. And that's kind of like the secret is the generative force, like what really, the activation energy that gets you what you want in life is care. You have to care. You have to give it meaning. If you don't do it, then it's not going to work out. You know, people try to look for external meaning, and people try to like see other things that people care about, and then decide to care about those things too. But you yourself are the one that's going to decide what's significant and what's not.
Hell yeah. You are the champion of your own destiny.
Hell yeah,
like
player.
What you're saying. Yeah, man. Well,
a lot easier said than done.
You're going to enlighten us a little bit about some Kundalini flow?
Right, so So Kundalini activation.
Yeah, can we learn a little bit about some of this hyperdimensional?
That's right. So whenever I was working for the CIA.
Yeah, I would. We have a lot of CIA, former CIA agents on the show, so
Good, I feel right.
I'm curious to see what your take on it is.
So Kundalini, psychosis or transcendent states that standing acoustical waves are the result of the altered rhythm of heart sounds, which are occasioned by prolonged practice of meditation, and which set up sympathetic vibrations in the walls of the fluids-filled cavities, which comprise the third lateral ventricle of the brain. In addition, according to research through the CIA, the state of bliss described by those who have Kundalini symptoms, like their Kundalini has risen all the way up to their third eye and penetrated the crown, experience what's known as like a full loop along the hemispheres, two hemispheres of the brain, may be explained as some sort of self-stimulation of the pleasure centers in the brain caused by circulation of a current along the sensory cortex. So what you can do is learn how to create a kind of like if you were to stick your hand in a bowl of water and spin it around and around and around. When you make that motion, it's kind of satisfying. It's just satisfying itself. You can imagine taking the fluid that exists right outside of your brain and in between the skull and the brain itself, and learning how to generate a current that swims around the outside of the brain. What that'll do is basically activate all of the pleasure centers within your brain. So now at this point, you don't need to use something artificial to activate those pleasure centers, like drugs, or particularly alcohol or tobacco. You don't even have to engage in a lot of sex or anything like that. You could really just be basically just feel like incredible all the fucking time by making that happen. And most people.
And our tax dollars have gone to secretly discover this and document it. Is that what you're telling us?
That's right. And although normally a period of meditation, around 4 or 5 years, will get you to that point, or to require you it's going to take that long to require you to actually raise the Kundalini. But what we figured out is that if you just expose yourself to certain acoustical vibrations in the range of 4 to 7 hertz for protracted periods of time, you can achieve the same effect. And I know that those frequencies are too low for you to actually hear, but they still have what's known as a psychoacoustic effect on the brain. So I think that's
So what kind of difference in time are we talking about? What kind of how much is the reduction? You would say 4 to 5 years can be condensed into how much?
Like 1 day.
Wow.
Yeah, because all you have to do is no breathing technique required, no mantra, no mudra, no stretch. You just expose your brain to the right frequencies, and your brain is going to harmonize with them.
Whoa. So this is coming from our shadow government.
Sure.
Unreal.
Usain Scon. USAIN SCON.
My goodness.
The government department.
Well, if you want to enlighten us some more, please feel free. I'm kind of blown away. I think we broke new ground here today. We may have changed America. Is that all we need?
Yeah, I mean...
That's it?
This is just showing the left hemisphere consciousness grid, the right hemisphere consciousness grid, and how the consciousness grid resides around the outside of your brain.
I feel like I have a lot that I could learn from you, and I'm a lot older than you, so it's a little weird, but I'm trying to open up to that idea that maybe you could teach me.
Oh yeah, No, I think it's possible for anyone to learn. I think that everyone has the capability of putting on a pair of headphones and exposing themselves to the right vibrations. But um, I think they're I think that this is probably just the beginning because we don't know exactly what's going to happen. As far as most people are concerned, whenever they're moving throughout everyday life, their consciousness is working a lot like a lamp. We've said lamp to laser plenty of times, but a lamp just kind of disperses light and illuminates an area, and then allows you to see what's within that area. But the light is dispersed in a really wasteful way, and it's not really concentrated in any direction. So by listening to those frequencies, you take your consciousness and move it into one direction, almost as if you're taking that grid and you're folding it on itself until it becomes a point, and then you're taking that point and you're pushing it forward, and you're pushing it forward, and you're pushing it forward. And if you have a strong enough laser, it can penetrate through anything, through walls.
You could, the man who stare at goats, right?
That's right.
You're gonna run through that fucking wall. I don't know what better place we could have to stop than that, unless you want to run through a wall for us. But I feel like maybe we should save that. Let people try things out for themselves and experience things on their own.
That's right. I want to see people slamming themselves into walls.
All right. I'm here with Centroid. He's going to go back up to the 5th dimension, I believe, is where he's from. And we're going to all run into this brick wall. We'll let you know if we make it through.
Slam your head against a wall.
Slam your head against a wall.
And get the fuck outside.
Get the fuck outside. One love. Stay blessed.